Hi, this is the video 3. It's on the 1st of January 2016. So this is the first of 365 days where you can get clarity of what you want and the confidence to make it happen. I'm Cheryl Andrews, I'm the Strength and Solution Detective, and today I want to talk to you about planning. One of the things that I remember when I very first became a coach was all about helping people set goals, helping them to achieve what they want to achieve. But the reality is that because we all learn and we all think and work and process information differently, we will all have our own unique way of planning. So it's really important that you find out how you do planning, what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and what would need for it to work better. And then become curious about those that matter to your success and happiness. Let's just take your clients, for example. The way that we plan, the way we process time, the way we make decisions, it will interrupt or disrupt your sales conversations, your sales process, your customer service, your customer care. If you as one person think the right way to do it is this, but you have a customer or client who thinks the right way of doing it is this way. And what most people don't know is that we all process time and we all make decisions very differently, and we have lots of different things that are impacting us. And whilst sales training and coaching and information out there will give you some generalizations, they will tell you that, they'll tell you how to play the mind games, if you like, in terms of, if you do this X, Y, and Z, then you can make sure you get all the kind of learning styles. If you do it this, and you'll get all their emotional triggers. But I want to help you find a much simpler way of doing it. I want you to be really curious, first of all, about how you plan, and then perhaps get a friend, your partner, business partner, or a client that you have a really good relationship with, and start getting curious with one other person about the differences in the way that you plan. And the way you can do that is by asking yourself these questions. When you're planning at your best, that planning is like what? Be curious. Whereabouts is that planning? What kind of planning is it? When does that planning take place? Who is doing the planning? And how is it all working? What's the first thing that happens? What happens in between that and a final plan? Start asking questions to get really, really curious about the whole process of planning. One of the things I do know that many people, because their natural process of way of working, they struggle with is if they're trying to get everything onto technology and they think, oh, why can't I? Everybody else is using electronic diaries. But I just wanted to let you know that not everybody is using electronic diaries. I use a diary system for booking appointments, but I then write it into my handwritten diary because that works for me. When it comes to planning, I use post-it notes, colouring pens, flip charts, and I do it very kinesthetically writing it because I have to have it all spread out chaotically, and then I put it into order, and then I produce a neat A4 piece of paper or a spreadsheet where I'm going to track what I'm going to do, and I can tick it off and recognise that I've achieved those outcomes. So don't get into too much of a rut about what should be doing or what other people are doing. Take a moment when you do plan at your best. It might be that when you plan the week shopping, maybe it's got nothing to do with business. Maybe when you're planning a holiday, or maybe planning your wardrobe, or planning a birthday party. Think about what happens when you plan that out, because the process, the physical step-by-step logical process that you have for that kind of planning will be the same for every other kind of planning. And you'll be able to use the same model to update it. But the good thing is you'll be starting with something you already do, something you already know how to do, and something that works for you. I want you then to be curious about when you're doing that plan, how you're making decisions. What are the things that you're considering, whether you say yes or no to something. I also want you to be considering as well, when you are planning at best, what kind of time frame works for you. I see people in business being told you need to do a 90-day plan, but their natural time frame may be 2 weeks. And I see other people who love doing 3-year big business plans, but when it comes down to the detail of day-to-day activity, that won't be their natural way of doing it. And the good news is that it doesn't matter. You start with what works, you get really clear about what is happening, and just that actual process of realising you do have a really solid planning process means that then all that has to happen is you have to stretch it to go from either big picture down to detail or from detail up to big picture, whichever one it is you're missing. And then you'll have a balanced planning process. So lots of things can affect why you can only see the time frames. It might be because of your natural way of learning and process information. And it can be that life throws things up and our brain decides to protect us. So what I want to say is just be curious, be fascinated about it, and please share in the links below. Tell me what you discover. Which time frames do you love planning for? What kind of things do you like planning for? So just notice what is happening when planning works. And in tomorrow's video, I'll be talking to you a bit more about what to do when it's not working. Speak to you soon.